Dear children, so welcome to the session. So last session we discussed about the lesson that is chemical reaction and its equation. So in this session we discuss the second chapter, that is acid, bases and salt. So in this lesson we discuss about what are the classifications of acids and what are the classifications of bases and what are the physical properties and what are the chemical properties of acids and bases, and salts, how the salts can be prepared, so what reactions it will undergoes, and what are the physical properties and chemical properties of the salt, and how we can identify the acids and bases. So these are the topics we discuss in this new chapter. So in this session we discuss about acid, bases and indicators. So how the acids can be identified. So what are the properties and how the bases can be identified. What are the properties and what is in the indicators. What is the uses of the indicators. So this is the topic today we are going to discuss. Now we will discuss about first. So what is in the acid? Just assume how we have to identify the acid. What is the simple test? For example, in one beaker, some acids will be given to you. You have to identify whether it is acid or not. It's very simple test. If you are having some coins, 1 rupee coins or 2 rupee coins or any coins, you just put the coin inside the acid. It means it will form the bubbles. The hydrogen liberation will be there. If the hydrogen is liberated, means we can tell it as it is acid. It is a very simple test to identify the given compound is acid or not. Okay. So if we dissolve the acid in water, the H plus ions is released. That indicates the acid. So acid means acids are chemical agents that release hydrogen ions when added to water. So when we add a little amount of water in the acid, means the hydrogen ions releases H plus ions. That is known as hydrogen ions. H plus ions releases. And the properties of acids are, so acids, the taste of acid is sour taste. For example, if we take lemon, so what is the taste of lemon? It's sour. So the taste of acid is sour taste. And another property is they change the color of blue litmus to red. If we dip the blue litmus paper in acid, it turns to red color. So from that we can identify the acids. If we dip the blue litmus paper in the acid solution, means it will change to red color. So from that we can easily identify. And next, base. So what is meant by base? The base is a substance that can accept a hydrogen ion from another substance. Base is a substance that accept a hydrogen ions. Hydrogen ion means H plus ions from another substance. It is known as base. Or we can tell it as when we add water in the base means the hydroxide ions is releases. The hydroxide ion is released. That is, the hydroxide formula is OH minus. In acid, when we add water in the acid means the H plus ions is released, and when we add base with water, here hydroxide ions is released. Okay, I will show the example for that. We will see one example. We take for acids, the examples we can tell it as, so what are the acids? For acids, so example for acid we can tell it as HCl. So HCl means hydrochloric acid, and H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, and HNO3, nitric acid, and HCOOH. So HCOOH, formic acid. So these are some examples for acid. So if we take the H2SO4, just take H2SO4, sulfuric acid, H2SO4. When we add water in sulfuric acid, so what does it forms? First, the hydrogen ions is released, H plus ions is released, and after that the sulfate ions is released. Vice versa, when we take the HCl, the HCl is added to water, H2O. So here also the H plus ion, hydrogen ion, is released. If we add water in the acid means the hydrogen ions, that is H plus ions, is released. And when we take base, we take the base. For base we can tell some examples, that is sodium hydroxide. So sodium hydroxide formula is NaOH, and potassium hydroxide, the formula is KOH, and calcium hydroxide, that is Ca, OH twice. So these are all some examples for base. So here we take base, that is sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Base plus water H2O. So when we add base with water, so here the hydroxide ion, that is OH minus ion, hydroxide ion is releases, and as the H plus ion is released, in base hydroxide ion is released, that is OH minus ion is released. If we take the HCl, in HCl the H plus ions is released. If we take the sodium hydroxide, NaOH, so in that hydroxyl ions, that is OH minus ions is released. Okay children, so see you on next session.